Good afternoon, Bryn Jones.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Welcome. Well, thank you. I'm fine. Nice to have you here, and welcome to Old, New, Borrowed, and Blue program.
Thank you for having me.
Does these words remind you of anything in
Yeah,
your?
yeah, getting married. Done it a couple of times.
Okay. Um I heard you had some discussions with the Slade band earlier when
Yeah,
Noddy Holder left the band. Is it true what I have heard, or
yeah,
was
that's
it a
true.
serious discussion, or
Oh yeah, I was asked to audition for them, and I did audition for them.
right after Noddy Holder left?
Yeah, but a fact was that Noddy sings so high, so I had to transpose the songs that they'd asked me to learn, which the songs in themselves they're not so complicated in the way that in a good way, it allows you to transpose them. And I think I did a good job with it, and I think they thought I'd done a good job with it. It was quite a good rehearsal in that way, but at the same time, they said that they really wanted to find somebody that could sing them in the original keys, which I quite understand, because that's how they should sound. So I didn't get the job, but yeah, that was well, half a lifetime ago and more.
Was Jim Lee still on the band at that time?
No,
He left already.
no. So there was Dave Hill on the guitar and Don
Powell.
on the drums, and I think the bass player and Noddy. Did they leave at the same time?
I believe somehow it was
Yeah.
because
So
they did so much together
I guess they'd
with
found
songwriting and
I guess they'd found a guy, a session bassist,
okay.
but and they found somebody as well that could sing it. But it's quite hard to find guys with a range that high, and with that tone.
Yeah.
That you can really sort of scream it. It's like trying to find guys that can sing AC/DC in the key of Bon Scott, or Bryn Johnson is really high.
Yeah.
I think one of the lessons you need to learn is trying to find the songs that are in your range to sing. It took me years. I wanted to sing like Bon Scott, and I had the tone, but I could never have the range.
Okay, but the Slade rehearsals were before you came to Finland. And
Yeah.
what actually brought you here, and
Um,
when was that? Can
met-
you remember?
I met a Finnish girl back in 1998. No, I moved to Finland in 98. I met a Finnish girl in 96.
Did you come for a visit first and
Yeah, I came
thought, how could I live here, or
Yeah, I came.
was it
I came many times, maybe every other month for a couple of years. 97, 98. Actually, our band came over and we played 3 days in Vanha Yliopisto for the freshers. That was my band from London. We came over. That was September 97.
okay? So you had an idea of the
Yeah.
country and the habits, and
Yeah, and I'd played some gigs, got some gigs further from there. So I had an idea of what it was about, and it was a strong rock scene then. So I mean, from my point of view, it was perfect because in Britain, pop music is always a big deal because that's where the money is. But then the rock music was more on the punk side, the kind of Indian punk side, which was never really my thing, because I was very much into. I started with Thin Lizzy, got to AC/DC, Lynyrd Skynyrd, ZZ Top, Rolling Stones, and Led Zeppelin. So it was kind of classic rock and roll. In that way, I found a kind of spiritual home in Finland back then.
okay.
Everybody was listening to Lynyrd Skynyrd and ZZ Top and Hurricanes, and it was kind of a nice place for me to land.
Yeah. Do you remember who was the first Finnish musician you played with?
Pele.
Pelle.
Yeah.
Where did that happen?
Vanha Yliopisto.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
So-
was hence my I met Pele. I did the warm-up gig for him. There was a club that they ran at Vanha at the time, and because we'd done the gigs with the band from London, they asked me if I'd guest at the club, and the club house band. There was Rocco Merilati on guitar and Harry Merilati on bass. Is it Affe Forsman?
Yeah, the drummer.
The drummer. That night there was Datu Manenberry on guitar, who was great. He was a rock and roll guitarist. I hope he still is.
Yeah.
And there were all sorts of people there that night. There was Pele, obviously he was playing. There was Remu, who got up and started jamming. There was David Lindholm, Kirka. I met a lot of the
Top line guys.
old rock and rollers.
Yeah.
I don't mean that with any. I won't say old. I'll say old school rock and rollers from Finland.
Yeah.
That night.
That's the right word.
Yeah,
for those.
which was great. You know, I got a good start.
So when did you decide to do this translation for Moottoritie in this famous Pelle song?
It kind of, the idea grew on me over the years, because obviously I met Pelle, I liked the song, I realised it was a famous song, and for a famous song it's not typical, it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, I love rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know, we all get that within like the first 4 bars. Moottoritie on Kuma is sort of like one of those older tunes where you've got to sit and listen to it and live with it, and you listen to the words, you get the story and the feeling, and I think it's one of those songs that grows on you. So it's hard to put a date on it, but it grew on me, and I got to know the song in the way that it's not so straightforward. And you know, some things you get to know them, they fade away. Some things stay with you. And then I ended up in Los Bastardos, and I was thinking, you know, Moottoritie on Kuma lyrically is perfect for Los Bastardos. You know, lyrically, it's absolutely what our band is about. Like the highway's hot, let's go. And with their song, with their version of it, you know, I don't know if they'd had a little smoke beforehand or something, but basically it's got that old laid back feel, you know, it's not that fast.
Yeah.
You know? So I saw room for a kind of Los Bastardos version where we'd put Twist on the drums and give it a bit of gas. I have my idea for the bass and the vocal to be a bit more in the style of Motorhead, kind of with a little bit of kick, and obviously we were lucky with guitarists like Ben in the band. I knew that we were going to be all right to have some tasty guitar, because obviously Andy McCoy was on the first version,
Okay.
and playing quite a unique solo, so it's like you got to have somebody who can play the guitar. Yeah, so it kind of came about like that, with a little bit of long-term curiosity with the song, and then the time was right, and the band was right for what I wanted to do with it, which was give it a kind of kick. And I hope, because I love their song, I hope that we did a good version of it, you know. I hope they like it.
Did you get any comment from Pelle or Taskinen, who's important behind this song?
Well, I saw Pelle, and Pelle gave me the thumbs up, so we're all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're
Really,
going to
I'm surviving, yeah.
we are going to hear the acoustic version with you and Ben today, which is very interesting too.
Nice.
The last question you take the guitars. How do you like Kosken Korva, honestly?
Honestly, not that much. It gets me drunk. I know that that's the point. But you know, I have a strange relationship with drink. I like it, but I like it in a way that I have to, you know, I grew up at a time when we'd go to play a gig, and before we'd even get our guitars out of the cases, the manager at the venue would be like, "Sit down, boys. Let's have a drink and a chat." And, you know, they want to get a couple of beers in you, get you in a good mood. You go on stage and kind of like give the people a good time. So, like I said, I like my drink, but I have to kind of be able to have my drink and do my show and do my work. Yeah? And there are certain, obviously if you play 5 nights a week, you learn what you can do and what you can't do. And I like to drink Guinness. That's my favourite. Most people know it by now that if I get a chance, I'll just drink Guinness. It's kind of slow and steady. Koskenkorva goes straight to my toes, you know. But the funny thing is that Jalovina, which when I first came to Finland, I found Jalovina very rough. But as you probably know, it's the rock and roll drink in Finland. There's a bottle of it backstage at every gig. So over 20 odd years, you accumulate, or you acquire, should I say, you acquire a taste for it. And I can handle Jalovina in a small quantity quite okay. But when I wrote a song about Koskenkorva, the Koskenkorva blues. And so when I sing it, people always buy me one. And I take the drink.
Okay.
But it's the only time that I drink it. But they buy me one and I take it. It goes straight to my toes.
You get enough just by playing the song.
Yeah, and that was what I wrote the song about. You know, coming to Finland, trying to make friends, and you know, it was just like they came along and chopped you off at the knees. So taxi, take me home. Yeah, so that was the whole thing.
Okay.
The taste is okay, but the damage is brutal.
Rock and roll damnation.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Bryn.
Thanks very
Have a
much.
good summer.
You too.
As much as we have left.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hope it comes back.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Okay. Okay.